Hey guys, Shan here with Trip with Shan with another video. So you guys please like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell anybody about this channel because I'm going to be sharing some tips and travel information. As you guys know, I'm a travel agent. I am based here in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I have been here almost 4 years. I can't even believe it. So anyway, if you guys have checked out some of my other videos, you know that I do tours and excursions and I plan travel and events and all things Punta Cana here. And I love this place and I love showing people all about Punta Cana and making sure that you guys have an awesome, excellent, fabulous time when you get here. So for those looking to come to Punta Cana, please come and please look me up. Come Trip with Shan. You can always email me at info@tripwithshan.com. But now that I got that out the way, let's get to the video at hand, which is responsible tourism. I felt the need to record this video because of actually something I witnessed on Instagram the other day. So I thought, why not make a video about it? Perhaps, you know, just to get my feelings out about it, hear you guys' feelings about it, and maybe we could just begin some dialogue about it in general. So here's to the story. About 2 weeks ago, it's probably more like 3 weeks now, but one of my favorite rappers, and you guys all know I'm from Atlanta, ATL, so one of my favorite Atlanta rappers, Big Boi, came to the Dominican Republic. He came to Punta Cana. And he enjoyed some excursions, and it's always great to see the celebrities come here because they all do. Everybody loves Punta Cana. So anyway, Big Boi came. I'm not sure who he was with, but he did have a companion with him. And this particular activity that I'm discussing right now was when they were on the dune buggies. So they decided to do a dune buggy excursion, which, by the way, is one of my favorites and probably one of my most popular excursions that's sold. But the reason that I love this excursion is because it does take you outside of the resort, which is, you know, what Trip with Shan promotes, is getting you guys off the resort and enjoying some of the authentic parts of the country. So they got off the resort, they do this dune buggy excursion, which is fabulous. It takes you here, it takes you there, it takes you to the beach, it takes you to this cave. You really get to see some of the local parts of the country, especially some of the people. I know this excursion, so there's a part of the excursion that actually takes you through like one of the local neighborhoods, right? One of the barrios. And this particular occasion, Big Boi, being who he was and philanthropic and all of that, as you may call it, he decides to hand out bills of money. I couldn't exactly tell what bills that he was handing out, but I think they were like 500 peso bills, which would be the equivalent of about $10 US each. And for kids in a third world country, you guys can imagine $10 US is pretty big money. And the frenzy that this created as he was enjoying his tour and deciding to hand out this cash was just freaking unbelievable. It was crazy. It was crazy to watch. So I'm going to try to insert a clip so you guys can see that video. Then you guys can give me your feedback.
I already gave some, buddy.
shows these kids who already, just with normal tourists, they already are looking for handouts. They're looking for money, in most cases, but they'll take anything, food, drinks, whatever. And I understand it's a third world country. We want to help them. They look so sad, and they look so like they need it, and in most cases they do need it. But there's a responsible way to do it, and there's a very irresponsible way to do it, in my opinion, guys. Keep in mind, this is my opinion. I want to hear yours, but I don't think that coming to a third world country on an excursion and handing out big bills is the responsible thing to do. And the reason, if you watch the video, these kids are almost dying, literally almost dying, to get their hands on this money. So, he's handing out the cash. They're running. Keep in mind, they're in a Big Boi and his companion are in a moving vehicle. So it's moving. There's a tour going on. So there's vehicles in front and probably in the back of him as well. So, the whole thing with these dune buggies is you got to stay in a straight line. Nobody can pass anybody, because that can create dangers. They also know that these kids come out, so you don't want to hit any kids. And that has been known to happen. So what's dangerous about this whole thing is that these kids are literally running and like crowding this dune buggy that Big Boi is in. Again, love Big Boi. I love that he wanted to help out. I just think that it was a very dangerous way, and I think that it was an irresponsible way of helping out. I know personally, because I also do volunteer and donations in this country, there are other ways to help out. Even to help out those same kids, there are ways to get that money in their hands that would have been less risky and a little bit more responsible. So I'm not at all taking away from the fact that he decided that he wanted to give his hard-earned money to who he wanted to give it to. I'm just saying, for future, guys, there's a responsible way of being a tourist and a very irresponsible way. And this is my opinion, but I think that this could have created a dangerous situation for himself, his companion, and possibly any of the other tourists on the excursion, as well as the kids themselves, because they were following after this moving vehicle. There were many times where they were just grabbing onto the dune buggy and while it was moving and rolling with the vehicle. I mean, it was really crazy to watch. But that just goes to show you how dire the situation is here. So I'm not taking away from that fact. But in the future, guys, if you guys want to donate, and I do love people who like to donate and volunteer, and I am looking for people, if you are interested in any of those sorts of things, please contact me at info@tripwithshan.com, and we can definitely set that up and arrange it for you. But there are certainly more responsible ways to give your money and your time here in the Dominican Republic. So I thought that I would just share, a couple of ways to just kind of understand when you want to do something for a country. Make sure you kind of read up on that country, maybe some of their customs, their culture, know some of the history, because there's a lot of history. I've read a lot of the comments on that video, and there's a lot of this and just there's a lot of opinions. We all know everyone has an opinion on the internet. So, I'm allowed to have mine. You're allowed to have yours. But just learn a little bit of history of the country that you're traveling to. Know what 500 pesos or $10 may mean for a 6-year-old, or their family. Understand why those kids may be out there in the first place. This was a weekday wherein kids should have been in school, but instead they're out, looking for handouts, looking for money. So let's just look at what that represents for their future. It's going to be a constant cycle of them always looking to get their money that way versus going to school, studying, and getting ahead, the legitimate way, which, to each their own how making your money or advancing in life is to you. But I think that taking them out of a school setting and teaching them to just look for money and look for handouts from tourists is not necessarily a good practice. Well, yeah, guys, that's my opinion. Responsible tourism, just do your research, know where you're going, know some of the culture, know some of the reasons why certain things happen the way they are. Plan in advance. If you want to give donations and volunteer, plan it. There's several organizations. I know several organizations and people that are looking to help out the people here, including myself. So again, just travel responsibly. There is a good and a bad way to travel, and putting yourself and others in danger is not necessarily responsible, and is very preventable in this instance. So guys, don't get me wrong. Love you, Big Boi. You are one of the best. So it's nothing against you. I just saw an opportunity to make a video, and you just happened to be featured. Anyway, guys, Shan here, Trip with Shan, signing off. Like, subscribe, and tell everybody else about it. Besos. Bye-bye.